Hey listening friends, I'm your host and coach Laura Malone. As an entrepreneur and leader, wife and mom, teacher and creator, I am showing up to share possibility with you and help you find vision and wisdom because you deserve to be equipped and released as the hero of your own story. Coaching really does help you change your life. And if you want to know how to guide yourself and others well, I created this podcast just for you. It's a place where you can grab tools, teachings, and ideas for both personal and spiritual growth, as well as entrepreneurship and coaching if that's your thing. So as you listen in, I pray I can help you create a legacy of impact and really start writing the story of a life you love living. Now let's jump into today's episode. Okay, this is one of those episodes that the sound quality is not awesome because I'm sitting in my car in a parking lot and I am overtaken by something that just happened in the parking lot, and I have to share it with you because this woman just walked through the parking lot yelling, and I didn't know what she was saying. And then I just hear the word Jesus, and I was looking everywhere. I couldn't find her. There was, around all the cars, I couldn't see this woman who was yelling. And then she comes up to the car behind me, and as she's getting in, she's singing, "May his favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family and your children and their children and their children. May his favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family and your children and their children and their children." And I just started smiling, like laughing, and then it turned into crying, and I was like, yes, Lord, may your favor be upon us and 1,000 generations, and my family and my children and their children and their children, and oh my God, thank you, God, for my family and the generations and their children. I just, such a mess. I'm still such a mess. Can you hear the mess? Because can we have this? Can we grasp this? Can we hold on to it? Can we reach up and take it, please? Because we don't. We don't do this, and we need to. And we need to focus our eyes on Jesus. We need to lift our eyes up. We need to look at him. We need to declare his blessing over our lives. We need to seek his face. The song is called The Blessing. It's Cody, Carnes, and Kari, Jobe, Elevation Worship. And these are the lyrics. "The Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace." Lots of amens follow that, and you don't need that from me. So there's a lot of repetition, and it's basically that verse. And then, "May his favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family and your children and their children and their children." Mind you, you don't have to have children naturally for this to be a blessing on your life. This is spiritual children. This is people who you sow into, that you operate as a mother or a father towards, okay? And then it says, "May his presence go before you and behind you and beside you, all around you and within you. He is with you. He is with you." Do you not need to preach that to yourself every day? Do you not need to hear that and remind yourself of it? In the morning and the evening, and you're coming and you're going and you're weeping and rejoicing, he is for you. 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 So say that. He is for me. God is for me. He is good. He is not angry at me. He lifts me up. He does not break me down. He is with me. He goes before me, behind me, beside me, all around me. He is inside of me. He is with me and for me. He's with me all day long, in the car, in the parking lot, in the mall, at the school, in work, in the mundane, in the hard stuff, in my coming and in my going and my weeping. He is with me. In my rejoicing, he is with me. I don't know. I just want to sit in it. In his presence. I'm like, I I'm waiting on a daughter in this parking lot for an hour, and I have my computer open. I'm working. I have an appointment in a couple of hours and I'm just in the middle of all the mundane, and this woman she's not singing. She is yelling this in the parking lot. Just yelling it. And I'm like so challenged right now. How can I be the woman yelling in the parking lot? How can I step up my game? How can I be brave and just preach the word and tell the truth loudly where I'm at and change somebody's day? And then I'm going to tell you that what she just did, think about this one little thing. It was stemming from this root within her. It wasn't compulsory. She wasn't being forced to sing this song. She wasn't being told, go evangelize the world. She believed it. She could tell by the time I actually saw her face when she was getting in her car, I saw on her face that she believed what she was saying. And you know what? Believe and do not doubt. The book of James says, check it out, chapter 1, believe and do not doubt. And the look on her face said, she believed. Right now, she is not doubting. She is not second-guessing herself. She's not second-guessing her God. She believes. And it was so beautiful. And that it impacted me. The voice, the words coming out of her, they shifted the atmosphere in this parking lot. I physically felt inside of my car a shift. And I got chills. And that's stuff's happening in the spirit if you get chills that don't mean you're cold. Okay? That's spiritual. And you're experiencing something either evil or heavenly. When you experience chills, you're experiencing what's happening in the spiritual realm. You're feeling it physically. And it's manifesting in the natural somehow. And she released truth and declaration. May his favor be upon you and 1,000 generations and your family and your children and their children and their children. And you know what? She was saying it to me. She was declaring it. She wasn't singing it over herself. She said, may his favor be upon you. And you know what? I'm the only person sitting in the car in this parking lot. So I'm taking it. But you know what she did is then that fruit of her declaration of truth, of her prayer that she released, it impacted me. And I was like, I have to say this to everybody right now. And now what she said, it's impacting you as you listen. And that fruit is being multiplied just because she opened her mouth and declared the truth. Here's what I want to say to you. What is it you need to declare that may only impact one person but have a ripple effect you cannot imagine? When do you need to open your mouth? When do you need to speak the truth? When do you need to say something that is fruitful, positive, hopeful, and helpful to the atmosphere, and deny what is negative, harmful, or unhelpful that wanted to come out of your mouth? What do you need to start saying? What do you need to start teaching? Do you need to be coaching people because this is something you want to pour out into their lives? Do you need to go mentor somebody so that you actually have a container and a vessel for what's inside of you to come out? Do you need to spiritually mother or father other people? Do you need to just get brave and silly and risk looking foolish while you're wise in the spirit by sharing the truth in places that feel uncomfortable to you? And that doesn't mean standing on a street corner. It usually doesn't. What it means is saying something to the person in line in front of you at Starbucks or the grocery store. What it looks like is saying what you know to be true about God, saying it out loud to the people right in front of you. Your sphere of influence is the people who are within reach of your voice right now, not later. Stop waiting for later. Stop waiting for somebody to tell you to go do it. Okay, you don't actually have to wait anymore. I'm telling you to go do it, right? Now you have a great reason. You were told to do it. And I'm giving you reasons to do it. I'm giving you examples of the kinds of results you could be getting with very little effort. But you just have to put aside all of the soulish stuff that wants to keep your mouth shut. All of the soulish stuff that you're afraid of dealing with, the emotions, the hard things, all the stuff that you want to avoid. Stop letting that lead your life. Say what needs to be said. Declare the truth and praise God all day. What's that song? Ever be? Your praise will ever be on my lips. Let it ever be. Let the truth ever be on your lips about whatever God is saying. You don't have to be religious and Christianese about it. You can be regular. Please be regular, okay? The people in the parking lot, they need you to be regular. They need you to speak their language, but use their language to bring truth. It's the same in marketing and business. You learn what is the language that your ideal customers and your ideal clients, what is their language? Because they're not going to go asking to learn your language. They're interested in growing with the language they already speak. It's your responsibility to go speak their language. It's the same thing when you're releasing truth. How can you say it in a way that it's interpreted correctly by the people who speak that different language? Is it possible that you could rise up and say it in a way that they can receive more readily? It's not them that has to change. It's us. It's us being responsible. And, you don't expect your 2-year-old child to understand really big words. What is that? That big word? Anti-disestablishmentarianism? You would never look at your small child and say, you need to figure that out. So I'm not saying to treat other people like children. I'm saying to identify that you have the ability to change your language to speak to people where they're at. You would do it for a small child. You would change your language. It's no different than when other people speak not just a different, a foreign language to you, but their internal language, regardless of it's English, Spanish, French, Russian, it doesn't matter what they speak. Their internal language is different than yours because their inner culture is different than yours. So what can you do to meet them there? This woman, she simply took what was in her and let it come out unashamedly. And it was beautiful. And it caught me right where I'm at. And I guess that's why I was like, this has to be a coaching choir episode, because somebody's preaching and changing the atmosphere around us simply by shouting these magnificent words of truth. And it's a gray, cloudy day, and I needed a shift. My time, my life has been a lot, and I needed this moment right now, a shift. And I hope that it's helping shift things for you. I hope that you begin to declare this song, this truth over yourself. Again, it's called The Blessing. There's a link in the show notes it'll take you right to the video where you can listen to it. And I pray that you discover what it is you need to shout out, what it is you need to speak up and say. And let it be loving, let it be kind, and let it be full of truth about God. I'm not telling you to go preach the truth according to your opinion. I'm telling you to go preach the truth about God. He is good. He loves you. His favor is upon you. He is blessing you. He is keeping you, and his face is shining upon you. He is gracious to you. He has turned his face towards you. He is giving you peace. Now you need to just become aware of it. Then grab it and go to him, enter his courts with thanksgiving for his blessing and his face and his grace and his peace towards you. And I ask for your forgiveness for the horrible sound quality, because that's what it sounds like when a move of God happens in a parking lot. Okay. All things are possible, friends. Bless you. I so appreciate you as a listener.
And if you are looking for a community of like-hearted believers who love all things coaching, be sure to jump into the Christian Life Coach Collective Facebook group. Do you think you might be called to become a certified Sterling and Stone life coach? We'll learn more about the Greenhouse course, where you can get trained in just 10 weeks to start building the foundation of your coaching practice. All the links you need are in the show notes. Happy story making!